Welcome to Attican Plays Railway Empire.
All right, welcome to another Railway Empire video. And this one, we're going to go free mode again, but this time we're going to go out to the west because we've kind of worn out the east and run through multiple strategies and multiple different sets of objectives. Thought we'd go out to the west to an area that we really haven't seen in my series of videos, which is we've seen the west, but we've always been down here, San Francisco over to LA. Kind of San Francisco up here to Carson City. Haven't done anything up in this part, the northern part of the west, Portland, Baker City. I think this is called Gold Beach, Winnemucca. Remember Winnemucca, just north of Carson City, and that area. So we're going to do go up there and work where we're kind of going to see new cities and new raw materials. So that'll be interesting, and we'll kind of see what kind of task list we might get. So let's do the west. Let's do 1830s. That'll be different as well. And let's see what we get in terms of tasks. So let's start in Baker City. Our computer opponents will be in, there'll be 3 of them, and they'll be in Portland, San Francisco, and San Diego. And we're going to set up, this is something else I noticed, we're going to set the AI on very hard. Hadn't even realized we had the very hard. Hopefully that'll be a lot better because hard is not hard. Trust me on that one. So we'll go to very hard, see how that works, and realistic network and normal pause. So that should be great. And let's just see what we get. The other thing I want to do change is I'm really a little tired of the general, and I thought it might be fun if we tried the gangster. Just because he's different. I always laugh every time I think about using him. So let's try the gangster. We don't need to be. We'll be Don Attican here, Don Attican or whatever. And all right. So let's see what kind of task list we get. And our strategy will obviously be tailored to what our task list is. But I do want to get into that one city build again and kind of go through that because I thought that was excellent. Well, here we go. Build up Winnemucca. Take wood to Winnemucca, and that's Winnemucca 50,000 in 3 years. That's good. 30, 31, 30. Yeah, we only have 3 years to do that, so we better get started on that because as I recall, Winnemucca is a tiny little place. 10,000. Wow, we're going to have to do some work here. This is going to be good. So we start up here, and let's just take a look and see what we've got around us. We have everybody's making beer. Mercy, mercy, mercy. Everybody's making beer. We do have logs in 1, 2, 3 good sites around us. That's good. We have wheat. I would hope so with all that beer being made. And we have some corn way over here and some veggies. Okay, good. We've got some cotton fairly close, and we've got more logs. Let's see. Wheat again. We don't need iron ore for a long, long time. We've got a couple of good sources. Salt we won't need for a while. Here we need cattle. This is the only cattle that I can see anywhere up here in the north. Just let's make sure. Yeah, there's nothing above. There's nothing out here beyond, east of those mountains for cattle until you get way down near Flagstaff. So we're definitely going to want cattle. And we could take a couple of different, that's interesting, we could take a couple of different tactics here. One tactic would be to ship cattle over here and buy out and make one of these into a meat producer for us so that we could build up, say, a little 3-city cluster here with our starting point, Baker City, Winnemucca, the one we know we have to get, and Nampa. The other option we could do, let's do this. Let's build our cattle business in Salt Lake City and just kind of drive a cattle business in Salt Lake City that sends cattle not to a supply or a meat not to a supply warehouse, but to one of our little goods exchanges. So let's set up a goods exchange. By that I mean a warehouse that has manufactured goods in it over here that these guys can grab out of, and we will use Salt Lake City as the source for meat since it's so far away. We will have meat coming out of Salt Lake City running over here somewhere and being picked up by our cities, our other cities, and then we can ship. Obviously, we can send beer back to Salt Lake City, so Salt Lake City will grow because we'll need it to grow just to supply more meat as the rest of it gets bigger. Whether Salt Lake City is one of our key cities or not, we're going to have to grow it. Let's see what else we've got going on here. University of Nampa, we'll have to grow Nampa. 2 dairy, that won't be a problem. 4 businesses producing grain, that won't be a problem. Seems redundant, but we'll do it. We'll have to have 28 active lines that all make money. That's good. I don't think that'll be a problem, though. 13 rail cities is not a problem. We're going to have to really expand, though. A lot of packages, so this is going to be a mail delivery, mail priority system. And here we go. I love this one. 10 cities, population of 88,000. We're going to have to grow 10 cities to a good size. Now, I'm wasting a lot of time here. The clock is running while I'm talking. But this looks really good to me. This looks like it's going to be challenging and fun, and we're going to get to do something different with that whole meat idea because we don't get meat here. So let's see what we can give these guys to grow. We can wood, corn, veggies. That's 3. Wheat's 4. Cotton's 5. And what would be a good 6th one? Is there something around? We could do salt, but that comes awfully late. That's like 90,000. Gosh, is there something else? It's okay if there isn't. If there's just 5, we'll send them the 5 supplies, let them build their industries off those 5, and we'll send the meat as sort of, like we said, an exception from Salt Lake City. So Salt Lake City will send the meat into the system, and they'll take care of probably beer with wheat, obviously, so like lumber with the logs, textiles and clothing from the cotton, and that should be enough to really get us rocking and rolling. So cool. So let's see how we want to approach this. We can go, we're going to have to get to Salt Lake City, but that's a pretty long run. We're going to go around the mountains and through and like that. So we could hook them in like that to get them attached to our network through Nampa. And then we could do Winnemucca, or we could go do longer line. I don't want to skip Nampa. Let's take the short, easy one first. Let's go here and do like a 4 train mail priority passenger goods. Then go Nampa to Winnemucca, same thing. I also want to run down here and grab Carson City. I want to do try to get into Carson City before this opponent works their way up there, because they're certainly going to come up there. There's no doubt. And then this opponent over here is coming down to Eugene, but they're going to come probably down the line, and they may even kind of come over our way. So I want to do a land grab of Carson City, but I think we'll alter that and go 1, 2, 3, and then our 4th city we grab will be Salt Lake City, possibly Elko, and then Salt Lake City. That might be easier and cheaper, and then we can start making money off that little line real fast. All right, so let's stop talking and start building a little bit here. And do we need? Yeah, I like large train stations. I just do. They just work better. At the end of the day, you need them. So we're going to start with a couple here. We could do slightly smaller ones and work our way up to that, but I think we're going to go like that. And we'll go Nampa to Baker City, like so. That looks pretty good, actually. And we're going to run on the outside of those, and we'll leave some space in here because our supply warehouse and our goods exchange will be in here. And our line from Salt Lake City is just going to have to cross over. That's just too bad. And we'll run 4 trains. Oh, I thought something looked bad wrong there. And of course, how many times am I going to do that? Of course, I started from the wrong spot and didn't catch the beginning of the line. Okay, that looks better. We've got our tower. We're only running 4 trains, so 1 tower would be fine. Or 1 tower and or set of signals, however you want to look at it. Because we've got 6 places. With this setup, we have 6 places trains could stop, which means we could run as many as 5 trains on this line if we chose. So we'll run 4. And these are going to be express goods, and we're going to make priority mail. And we're going to have our research make priority mail. Throw a grasshopper on there. We're already broke. One of the problems with Don Lorenzo, we just don't get much. Really, there's not much. He doesn't help much, which is probably a good one to use, because if you can be successful with him, you can be successful with pretty much anybody. So let's just I'll do the lazy way and keep bringing them out of the same station. Okay, there's 4 trains queued up. As soon as they get out there and running, they'll be good. Let's go down and grab Winnemucca. And again, I want to use a large train station. Why not? And we'll leave space on that other side, because that's where he's going to get his supplies. Run up here to Winnemucca and use the outermost one we haven't used, which is there. I'm sorry, Nampa. Whoa, nice bridge. Whew. Okay, there's one side. Okay, I need 125-ish and a couple of towers, it looks like. So 60, about 190. Let's run this thing up to 190. That'll take a little while with only 4 trains running. And yes, we want to have mail cars, but no, we can't have mail cars yet because they come out over here in research. So we're going to have to work our way over here to get mail cars and start using those. And we will, eventually. All right, let's see. Increased profits from mail. Hard to argue with that one. Okay, you can see how this line, even though I kept queuing them up, they've spread themselves out nicely, and they're moving and flowing pretty well. We've got a nice flow here with our 6 lines. We're making very good money. So we're looking good here so far. So we need a couple hundred grand plus, let's call it 80, 100 more for lines or more. So 300 plus some, we need about 400 grand in order to grab Carson City. So we might as well just run and go until we get there. Increase the number of passengers. Absolutely lovely. We want a conductor for sure, and we want a station master, 5% faster turnaround on maintenance, absolutely. And let's throw a conductor on here, 10% transportation of mail. What a perfect conductor he is. And security guard to give us a little bonus on that freight, which is the mail. And now we've got enough money to go grab Carson City, and we'll swing it around so that we can easily go over this way and pick up Bodie at some point in the proceedings. And we want to keep this side open to go grab supplies and manufactured goods. So we'll run up here and we'll use this guy. Okay. And this is going to be another 6, I think. So a couple of supply towers. And signals. That's pretty far out. I don't like that. If you run it down closer, then move it over, and then scoot it back to where we at. Well, because of the curve. Okay, all right. That should be a little better. Let's see if we can put our signal closer down. A little bit. We gained a little bit there. Okay, that's one side. Again, this configuration could run 7. We're going to run 6. Look at all these express lines. That's beautiful. That's getting us extra profit. How are we doing here? We got 4, 5, 6. Okay. Now we've grabbed Carson City. We're off to a great start here. Let's just make sure we're on track. Winnemucca, that's the first thing we got to get to. Look at that, 10,000. Tiny little place. We got to build that up. So, and until we have meat flowing in there, it's going to be hard to do. So let us go How we want to do it? Let's go grab. Uh, let's put another station, and I will concede and put just a regular one for now on the other side of Napa, and go grab our dear friend Salt Lake City. What kind of money we looking at here? Million. It's because it's going through the hills. Yeah, okay, 173. Probably 400,000. It's not going to be cheap, is it? And I'm still going to use a large. No, we'll same thing here. We'll just use a regular train station rather than the typical, my usual large. And we'll run it out and go around the Great Salt Lake, which I assume is that right there. And go like so. Okay, now this line brings Salt Lake City into our fold. We need 250. We're going to need about at least 4 to 5, maybe 500,000 to finish it off. So let's let her run. And we're going to start doing freight here pretty soon. And there's some good ones on the other tree I need to go grab here. Maybe next time we get some research. Excuse me. Those conductors. Whoop, we don't want that. But we can put our conductor on the next train. And the next train. And what else is out there? Slow down. A surveyor, 10% off tunnel construction. We'll take it, even though we try our best not to build tunnels. A saboteur. Here's where we're getting these guys to go out, and these market criers are actually, pardon me, worthwhile. Watch what happens here. If we take him, people an option you say then volume or passengers or mail, safety, comfort. If we do safety, I think we'll get mail. So let's see what happens here. Safety, mail volume increases about 50% for 6 weeks. And since we're running mail lines, he should more than pay for himself. And better, it was a terrible investment, wasn't it? Let's see how we're doing here. We've got our line. We buy that. We should have enough to be able to go back. Now that, in 1830, with the little slow trains we've got, that's at least 8. We'll call that an 8. So we're going to put 3 towers in there. So that's 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That would give us 10 stopping points and allow us to run as many as 9 trains. We'll run 8. All right, we definitely want to pick up this one if we can, and we got it. And where was I? We were doing signals. I thought we got that one. Oh, we were setting up the trains. Sorry. All right, so we need some funds to set up our line. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Once they all get out of there, we'll have a good looking line running Salt Lake City. Then we got to start thinking about our growth. We've got to really get into growth mode here. We've used up 1 year getting this kind of started up, and there it comes. Don't have any maintenance set. My favorite mistake. That would actually cover all the lines we have set up so far, but I'm going to go ahead and spread this joy out and get the maintenance going everywhere. Otherwise, I'll be sick about it. And I forgot about down here, we actually connect to Carson City, so they would have had problems eventually too. I think there's one more to do, Salt Lake City. Okay, now let's stop right there. I think that's a great start. We'll stop right there. We've kind of gotten off to a good start, and our start matches our objectives. But of course, the first thing we have to do is grow this, and that's going to be a job. So in our next one, we'll talk about how are we going to rapidly grow Winnemucca. I think you already know the answer, but we'll go through it and get it all set up and accomplish that on our next episode. So I hope you enjoyed this. I hope it helps you become a better player, and I hope you will join us on our next Railway Empire video. Thank you.